at where we are today, it's like they started in 1999, laid the foundation. Some people came and took it to a decking, and some people were trying to raise it to first floor, and some people came and knocked everything down. That's the situation where we are now. Everything has been knocked down. Nothing works. And I'm somebody who can say this exemplarily. I became a governor through the courts when President Obasanjo and Atiku were in government. I did not pay the court 1 naira. I was sitting in my house in the office, and the court declared me winner. When a governor is hosting them, it can't happen in Nigeria today. When I was being impeached, the president sent people to come and intervene on my behalf. Ken Namani came begging house people not to impeach me. Today, the president impeaches the person. So that is the thing. So it's collapsed. So it's failed. They were begging my house not to impeach me. And they were in PDP. I was in Abga. And they were begging. President was calling me and said, Peter, are you okay? Even when I was impeached, President Obasanjo called me and said, are you okay? Are you safe? When I go back from the court, when court eventually declared me under Andioba, President Yaradua called my phone in London and said, congrats. I said, President, I can't come back because, if I come back, these people, he said, tell me the flight in which you're coming back. And I told him, when I came, it's the first time military people came to receive me at the airport. I couldn't believe it and took me straight to him. Now the president will ask me not to come back here again. So it's failed. Let's talk about how we are going to rebuild it. It's collapsing.
Peter will be speaking at the 60th birthday celebration of Emeki Hedioha, the former deputy speaker of the Federal House of Reps. The event was sparked by the who is who in Nigeria, from the former president Olusegun Obasanjo to the former vice president Atiku Abubakar. We'll get back to what Atiku Abubakar said. What Peter Obi said is very true. There is no longer a semblance of democracy in Nigeria today. And how are we going to get back our democracy? At least what we used to have in the early 2000s, in the mid 2000s, even during Goodluck Jonathan's administration. We can only get them back when we change the current administration, because the APC administrations under Buhari and under Tinubu have contributed in destroying our democracy. And the people that destroyed our democracy can never rebuild it, because if they do that, it will guarantee that they will never win elections anymore. So how do Nigerians rebuild democracy, at least to the level we had before APC came to power? It is by only forming that coalition, which fortunately was announced last week in the press conference held by Atiku Abubakar, El-Rufai, many others including Peter Obi, who was represented by Yusuf Tanko. Rotimi Amechi wasn't present in the meeting, but his name was announced as part of the people and politicians that made that press conference. So the reason many people are not joining openly, heavyweights like Peter Obi, Rotimi Amechi and many southern politicians, is because of the fact that they are afraid that northerners want to contest, especially the big masquerade himself, Atiku Abubakar. According to many reports, including this one by Punch newspapers, many of these politicians don't want to participate openly because of the fact that the coalition members have not yet decided where to zone the presidency. If they agree to zone it to the south, then these politicians can come out openly, they will have confidence and start working towards the coalition, start making all efforts. In fact, there has been rumors that Peter Obi will join SDP. After the call by El-Rufai to many of the politicians to join him there, he clarified it here in the meeting organized by Labour Party in Enugu.
So I'm on Labour Party. Ndina happen. I am a well if you will. Ramwe ikemesi echiataba. So niba igeme be na agwafa. Neba afa jebelu. No bo odoro mma. Iba ji politics I will roll obodo. Odoro nke ba ju ebe a na alụ olu obodo.
Peter Obi spoke in Igbo because the meeting was mostly comprised of Igbo people. What he spoke in a nutshell is that he remains in Labour Party, that all the parties he left in the past, he had tangible reasons for leaving the parties. For instance, when he left APGA after being the governor for 8 years, he moved to PDP. It was only a natural progression because APGA is not a national party. Yes, anyone that has ambition, especially wants to contest the presidency, he can't do that under a party that doesn't have a national spread. So it's a natural progression. He moved to PDP, contested with Atiku Abubakar as vice presidential candidate, and in 2023, of course, everyone is aware of that. And obviously, because of transactional politics in PDP primaries, he knew well ahead that he didn't stand a chance. This was after touring the entire country, nearly visiting about 35 or was it 36 states. He tried to convince the party members of many states that he is the right candidate, that they should vote for him based on competence, many things. But following the results he got, the responses, he knew well ahead that these people were bent on voting for the highest bidder. So that was why he left PDP and moved to Labour Party. And now there is serious crisis in Labour Party. Yes, it's very easy to blame APC for destabilizing many of these parties, but the truth remains that all the people in these parties are not people of integrity. Yes, if you are able to be bought, if you are able to be bribed to do the bidding of someone else, then you have yourself to blame. All these transactional politicians who keep fighting for leadership positions in many opposition parties, they all do it because of their personal interest, not for national interest. When you see them going to court, doing all sorts of things to retain a position, just to be the ones in power, to make decisions, to handle money, which is the most important thing to them, they are not doing it to make sure that their party brings change to the country, turns around the fortunes of Nigerians. No, all they want is just to be there, riding in long motorcades, enjoying VIP protection, all the trappings of office. So these kind of people can easily be bribed because their motivation in the first place is money and material things. So if the leadership crisis in Labour Party is not resolved before maybe a few months to the 2027 presidential election, maybe Obi might move to another party. Because obviously if he continues staying in Labour Party and maybe recontest under the Labour Party, these guys in Labour Party will sabotage all his efforts.
We have kept this relationship, and till today, I have found him extremely loyal, dedicated, and focused. Even though at one point in time we may find ourselves on different political divides, but we kept our relationship. And I think that testifies to the kind of person Emeka is. So let me use this opportunity. When he told me about this event, I was actually complaining. I said, Emeka, this is Ramadan, and then it is the last 10 days of Ramadan. And the last 10 days of Ramadan, we don't sleep in the night, we sleep during the day. He said, but Oga, try and make it. I said, okay, I will make it. And here we are today. I'd like to congratulate you, Emeka and Mrs. Emeka Ihedioha. Many happy returns of the day. Thank you.
The way Atiku Abubakar is positioning himself everywhere, even before campaigns start officially, you will see that he wants to run in 2027. This is what is scaring others from joining the coalition. That's the very fact. And the other time it was rumored that El-Rufai wants to tell Atiku Abubakar point blank that he mustn't contest, that it's better they back a southern candidate to be able to unite everyone. This is very clear. All these politicians understand this, but because of personal interest, they will never do the right thing. There's still enough time for Atiku Abubakar and his associates to course correct. They need to change strategy. They can't be seriously doing the same thing they did in 2023 presidential election in 2027 and expecting a different result. It can only mean that Atiku Abubakar is truly working for Tinubu. Yes, the other time during the past presidential election, many of Atiku Abubakar's associates and supporters accused Peter Obi of dividing the votes of PDP, thereby hurting Atiku Abubakar's chances of winning the election. Some even went as far as saying he worked for Tinubu. that if he contests again without joining the coalition in 2027, that it is him that will be working for Tinubu in 2027. You see, the arrogance and self-entitlement is still there. The same thing they did in 2023, they want to repeat in 2027. If truly they believe they have a better candidate, that Atiku stands a better chance in winning the election other than any other person, why are they begging others to join the coalition? If they can truly do it alone, like he did in 2023, despite the fact that PDP was broken, 5 governors decamped and worked for another party. He didn't bother to unite the party. He went into the election feeling that he will win. Now they are trying to do the same thing. Like already said, there is still time to course correct. They need to think hard about this, because this is the last chance Nigerians might have to start undoing the harm APC government have done to Nigeria. Now that many politicians from the south are seeing Atiku Abubakar as a stumbling block to the formation of the coalition, he needs to take a look at the mirror. He needs to ask himself, I'm supposed to be a unifying figure, but now it seems I am a divisive figure. Because of me, many people don't want to join the coalition. It's not anyone's fault that Atiku Abubakar couldn't achieve his dreams of becoming the president since he left power in 2007. Since then, up to today, he has been contesting one way or the other, trying to achieve his dream, and now age is no longer on his side. It's not the fault of Nigerians. So he's supposed to give way and allow others to try. After all, the objective is to remove the people that are in power. If he refuses to do that, he won't still achieve it by 2031, because by that time he will be approaching 90 years. Thanks for watching.